go fast. Four tires with four wheels, one chassis, you know the deal. I ain't downgrading none of y'all, I'm just simply telling y'all what's real. Kryptonite, yeah, that's my clique. Dirt tracks where you find me at. STA, baby, that's us. We smacking that on a racetrack. We take the lead, never look back. You either run one or you get smoked. Know it's us when we pull up. Built to win, and that's no joke. Racing stuff, yeah, we're about it. Really all we've ever known. Pulling up or we're hopping out, and nowadays we're all well known. We're racing around, we getting it. We're racing around, we getting it. We're racing around, we getting it. If we're racing, we're winning. We're racing around, we getting it. We're racing around, we getting it. We're racing around, we getting it. If we're racing, we're winning. 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 We racing around, we getting it. If we're racing, we're winning. If we're racing, we're winning. If we're racing, we're winning. We racing around, we getting it.
Kryptonite, race cars, race one or chase one. You know we hitting homers, boy. I ain't talking about them base runs. Winner races, back to back. Legends at the dirt track. In the lead, never look back. Smacking that at the racetrack. Dirt Nation, stand up. Better get your fans up. Main attraction, killing beats. We in the dirt, ain't in the streets. Getting down in that red clay. Winning races all day. It's game time, bells tight. We bout this life all day. Forever and always we live for this dirt racing. Kryptonite, race cars is what they're all chasing. Race around, we getting it. Big money, we're spending. If I'm in one, I'm winning. Cause my wheels are never spinning.
We're racing around, we getting it. We're racing around, we getting it. We're racing around, we getting it. If we're racing, we're winning. We're racing around, we getting it. We're racing around, we getting it. We're racing around, we getting it. If we're racing, we're winning. 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 We're racing around, we getting it. If we're racing, we're winning. If we're racing, we're winning. If we're racing, we're winning. We're racing around, we getting it. Everywhere we go, they know we got a chance to dominate. I ain't saying that we are the best, but I am saying that we are great. It's showtime when we show up. Lights, camera, action, go. Got the pedal down, but we staying smooth.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are live with the TI Truck Series here tonight at the Daytona International Speedway. In the booth tonight, we got myself, Rage, and Ron Piles, and alongside tonight with Brett Rolls. Brett, it's nice to have you back in the booth tonight. Should be a fantastic race and a lot of drafting here at the Daytona International Speedway for tonight's race.
Absolutely. We traded in the dirt for the pavement as we're going to go truck racing here at Daytona, the infamous 2.5 high bank Daytona Motor Speedway for the TI Truck Series. As you said there, Piles, as we are in the middle of qualifying right now, as it looks like top spot right now is going to be the 63 of Isaac Morris with a 52.444, and right behind him is going to be Steven Vrooman with a 52.445. So we got a lot of close times here, Piles. It looks like this race is going to heat up pretty quick.
Yeah, so I was looking at here. These guys are going to be able to stay together in a draft pack. Going to keep the action pretty exciting throughout tonight's race. A couple of different notes here from the TI Truck Series. As far as I recall from some notes, they're 30% fuel, so going to be quite a few, about 4 or 5 pit stops tonight, and they have a limited amount of tires that they can use. From previous knowledge of racing here at the Daytona International Speedway, if I can talk tonight, the tire sets aren't really going to be too big of a deal here with the Daytona International Speedway with the trucks. There's not a whole lot of tire spin and not a lot of scrub off speed unless you're really cranking that thing off in the corner, and I don't really recall having to do that.
Yeah, this thing is going to get very high, wide, and handsome here. I wouldn't be surprised to see multiple guys down on that inside lane early on to start. But as we get going through the course of the 60-lap race, be mindful to those guys that are going to sneak up to that top side and try to see if they can get some momentum running in the draft.
All right, well, with all this aside at the moment, we're going to take a brief, quick commercial here. If you guys would please stand up for the national anthem, we will do that real quick as we honor our nation's colors, and then we'll be right back with the starting lineup of tonight's Daytona International Speedway race with the TI Racing Series. Alright, we're back here live with the TI Racing Series, the Hardy Sports TV crew here once again. It'll be another fantastic night of racing. Last night, or night before last, I should say. We're at the Martinsville Speedway. I believe that was with the original Rebel Racing League. Pretty fun outing there. Is getting this week rolling here. We got 19 seconds left for these guys to roll through qualifying. Gonna take a look and make sure this qualifying list did not change, and Isaac Moore is still sitting on top of the board here as we get ready to roll out of qualifying into tonight's racing event at the Daytona International Speedway. We'll go ahead and roll that back up and we'll get ready to go through our starting grid for tonight's Daytona International Speedway race with the TI Racing Truck Series. I want to thank our sponsors here at the Hardy Sports TV Network, our Motorsports, BladeNode.com, Simple Web Solutions powered by Nerds, and Jeff Scott and the gang at the Ford Entertainment Group in Texas for putting together the computer that we're bringing you this broadcast on this evening. So, waiting on all the drivers to make their way to the grid before we get on through our starting lineup. Let's see here. There we go. That might work better. So it looks to be 21 trucks took time tonight, and 21 trucks going to start tonight's or today's Daytona International Speedway race with the TI Racing Truck Series. I think everybody except for one person has made their way to the grid, maybe two. Your leader not making his way to the grid yet, so maybe some last second changes for him. These camera angles are a little weird. Seeing the, oh, there you go, see there. Is the iRacing.com official pace truck going to lead the field off of pit road here. Go ahead and get on through our starting lineup. Probably could do. Starting on the inside of the front rows here, the 63 of Isaac Morris. To his outside will be the 23 of Stephen Brodman starting second. Starting inside of row number 2 will be Brendan Turner in the 37. To his outside will be Ryan Whitaker in the 3. Starting inside, actually, is that a 26 that's going to be on the outside? Oh, in the back, okay. Starting inside of row number 3 is going to be Brighton Hutchings. Interesting. In the 84, starting in position number 5. Starting position number 6 will be Justin Miller in the 80. Starting inside of row number 4 will be John Roberts. To his outside will be Eric Burrill in the 14. Starting inside row number 5 in the 9th starting spot will be Chris Lewis in the 111. And to his outside, Brandon Alphin in the 191. Starting inside row number 6 in the 11th spot will be Kyle Dumig, and to his outside Gary Godso in the 50. Starting in position number 13 will be Landon Darrold in the 94, and to his outside Patrick Thompson in the 28. Starting in position number 15 will be Ryan Perkins in the 9, to his outside Dan Marrera in the 26. Starting inside row number 9 in the 17th spot, Jeremy McKinnon in the 12 machine, and to his outside Jeffrey Spells in the 13. Starting in 19th will be Jason McKinnon in the 21. Starting 20th will be Jake Porter in the 48. And the 69. It's your 21 truck starting field here at the Daytona International Speedway as we get ready to go green flag racing. Here's the field, works their way off of turn 4. We've pace truck going to take a dive to the pit road here, and that's going to be on Isaac Morris and the flag, the starter here to start this race, Brett.
And the green flag is out. We are green at Daytona with the TI Trucking League racing, as we're going to have 3 trucks breaking out to the instant breakaway from the field here, as I'm not too sure if that's going to be exactly what they're going to want here coming off of turn 2 at the end of this first round. As so far, double file, the top 3 going to single file out. After the 37 now going to rocket to the outside. And that Chevy Silverado, number 37, he's going to bring along 3rd place with him. This outside lane has got a couple of cars being able to work together. You got the 37, the 00, and the 26. And you see that gap in between the what is now the 3rd place car and 5th place car. That is going to allow that outside gap just to get a little bit more come around lap number 1. And so far, it looks like your leader of the first lap is going to be that 37 as we come back around to start lap number 2.
Yeah, these guys keeping a really tight close off the field here as they work their way to the corner. You see the drafting working out really nice right now. You see if the top side's probably going to run here off the corner down the straightaway. Fall back to the center of the corner a little bit. Stretch there into 1 and 2. They come down the back straightaway. You see him drafting right now, tucking that nose as he's doing a little bit of weaving in and out here. What they're doing there is allowing these trucks to get some air as they're going in and out, because eventually these trucks will overheat if they're not able to get air to the front of the grill of these trucks here. Working the turns 3 and 4 now. Guys, there's a tandem battle, or a tandem draft up top and a tandem down below for the lead, as these guys are going to battle it out here coming to the line, Brett.
Absolutely. And as we pointed out, bump draft is so important here at Daytona to be able to push the car or truck in front of you just to get a little bit of extra run. But, you know, as you see a lot of these trucks start to peek their nose out and even not to make a move, just to be able to get that nose clear of that truck cooled off, to be able to prevent any overheating issues. As you see, everybody so far, for the most point, just, you know, pretty single file in each respective groove here, not really pushing the issue, as it looks like these drivers are just getting ready to log some laps and see how this first tank of fuel is going to handle for these guys. And, you know, how it's going to be running here at Daytona tonight.
Yeah, once again, being on 30% fuel here in a limited tire set, it's going to make a change in the race here. Not so much tire-wise here at the Daytona International Speedway. The fact that these guys are high, wide, and handsome, wide open on the throttle, all the way around the Speedway. And I won't say that they're all the way down, like pedal to the metal, all the way to the floor, because you do pick up that draft, and if you don't lift for somebody,
yeah, everybody, you know, has that mindset that Daytona is just, you know, full throttle, hammer to the floor, and, you know, follow the leader mentality. But you know, if you've spent any time on the sim or in, you know, draft racing, whether it be here at Daytona or at Talladega, you know, you guys realize, you know, just how much throttle control that does play a factor when in the draft. You know, you don't want to get too far up and be pushing too hard. These trucks are very easy to spin out and be able to shove around, as you see from the camera angles that we have here. There's a lot of those pieces between the Fords, the Chevys, and the Toyotas. And, you know, just a little bit of mismatch, whether it be from design or, you know, body line or something like that, you know, it can just hook that rear bumper. So to be able to push the truck but not be able to hook the truck in front of you is definitely going to be the biggest thing to overcome here tonight. And you see that especially with drivers so close side by side within the first couple of laps here. This is, you know, barring a huge wreck, this is pretty much how we're going to see most of this race go, is that tandem draft style multi-cluster lane racing here at Daytona, as it looks like the only couple of trucks that I don't see side by side is just that group of 3 at the front. So as of right now, it looks to me like this inside group really want to be at right now as far as bump drafting, as you see that outside lane starting to fade just a little bit here, as you see the 3 in that number 12 truck getting up underneath that 26 going into turn 1 and 2. A little bit of tire smoke. Not sure what's going on there around the mid-pack of the field. We're going to have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of racing net code there as they get into the corner. I saw the 21 machine disappear for a moment when he came back to tire smoke. I guess the racing service picked him back up as a vehicle on the Speedway. So a simple little net code glitch there in iRacing's coding, but nonetheless, there's everybody able to keep it clean and green thus far as we're ready to start lap 7 of 60 here. As far as you're talking about the battles and these guys going side by side and front of the field being single file for the top 3, but now that's going back to about the top 10 right now, as you know, everybody kind of set in their pace right now, trying to get set for pit stops that'll be coming up here. I'd imagine we'll probably see some pit stops probably around lap 12, 13, I'm guessing will probably be our first window. They'll either want to possibly start them out, or these guys might get a little aggressive and antsy here, coming close to that pit stop. They may have a caution put together, so that's going to be interesting to see how that's going to play out here tonight.
Absolutely, as you pointed out, you know, if we get to that first caution flag, you know, it could spell disaster for a lot of these teams relying on pit strategy for fuel and tires come later on in this race. But my thing that's going to be really interesting tonight is to see, you know, what kind of strategies do come into play if we do get a long green flag run here. As you see a couple of Silverados towards the front here, I know the Silverados, they seem to hook up a lot better in the long run at Daytona when it comes to a draft style package. The Fords not so much, but that don't count the Fords out though. But Toyotas and Chevys are going to be the particular interest point of domination here between who's going to get that manufacturer dominance. Keep an eye though, as it looks like more and more Chevy Silverados are starting to take to the front of this racetrack here on.
Yeah, I was looking at that here. We got a Silverado currently in the lead. Your pole sitter for today's race has slid back to the 3rd spot, and he's riding comfortably right now as the field behind him putting the pressure on right now as they're starting to open up that outside lane once again as they work their way down the straightaway to the start-finish line here as they get ready to go into turns 1 and 2. The outside line is going to prevail here. We've got 3 trucks making a break for it, but I don't think that's really going to prevail too much. The bottom of the racetrack being low with the trucks in that air, if they can keep that going, I think it may hinder the top of the run together off the field.
Yeah, as you see this run go on and on, you see more cars starting to duck down to the inside groove. That outside lane starting to hold pretty tough though, as they're going to try to keep away and play that side draft to their advantage. You see them get the run down the back straightaway, but just how much dominance you see that inside lane's going to get is the outside lane up front. That John truck is going to get a little bit loose. So some chaos possibly starting to happen here as we got one truck, a couple of trucks coming down for an early pit stop here. As not sure if this is just how much of a fuel window we have, or if we have some people playing some early strategies here on the early get going here. But it's going to be pretty interesting to see as we get through the first beginning portions of this race how many guys go with different strategies here. As you see multiple drivers now, it looks like almost a good third of the field down here on pit road, so it could be the early point of green flag pit stops here, Ron.
Yeah, looks like it's just pretty much fuel and go as these drivers making some quick stops here. So nobody, I see maybe a right side tire change on. Looks like it might have been light truck here coming out. Not exactly sure what the number was on that, but he's the last one coming out. So I'm gonna guess probably the 51 maybe. You can see a number on with the camera. Right now, looks like your leader is on the second group coming down now for their pit, and that's going to be the rest of the field. So 2 groups of trucks here coming in for pit stops, and that's going to be the end of round 1 of stops here on lap 11. So I'm curious now, Brett, seeing that they've came in on lap 10 and lap 11, how close is that going to put them on fuel when we come to lap 60?
You know, you see a lot of drivers coming down, no tires being taken, just fuel only. So I think this fuel restriction may be what's bringing these guys in at the early point on here. Not exactly too sure. As you see, this is going to get pretty interesting as the group of guys that came out and pitted the last time around, they are starting to come back around to this field. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see who's going to inherit the race lead out of all these green flag pit stops. As you see multiple trucks coming off the pit lane there, right in the portion of your leaders. You see the guys with a full head of steam coming off of turn number 2. This could spell disaster coming down the back stretches. You got guys trying to merge into traffic and try to get back into these drafting, I guess you could call it wind paths. You know, try to get as little wind resistance on the front of their trucks as possible as they start to pick up some momentum here coming off of pit road.
Yeah, looking at a couple other things here. I was looking through our timing and scoring, and something else that's going to hurt right now is the gap in that field between the 2 fields coming into pit. With the leader coming out right now, the gap's closed in now, but it was like 2.5 seconds a minute ago, and that was going to play big. But now he has drafting help. Nick Leo, Chris Lewis, and Isaac Morris are your top 4. Steven Vrooman is currently your 5th place truck, so your top 5 pretty close together right now, allowing these guys to get back together and group up and run with the field. Now we got 3 Chevy Silverados and 2 Fords together, so quite a good little group there, and we have one Toyota on the field in the 21st spot, so the lone man out back there, 1 lap down.
Oh, and if you notice there at the top of the screen, it almost looked like a little dirt track slide job maneuver there to try to get back into the draft. Not sure exactly the truck number at the back of the pack there that I saw make that crazy move. But as you notice, these guys coming out of pit road, they're single file right now, as I believe that was the number 5 truck that pulled that crazy actually no, it was the 14 machine that pulled that crazy maneuver. And you can see with this camera view coming down the back straightaway just how much of that draft plays in effect. Is I believe that's the 94 truck right up onto the back bumper of the 74. So you can see, if you pay attention right here, watch the 14 truck and the 3 truck at the back. They're going to just now get to the back of that draft, and I guarantee you by the time they get up here to our camera, they're going to be right on the back bumper, if not looking to try to take a run to the outside or something. As you can see, the gap's going to open just a little bit more, but you can really get a good close eye on this draft if you go down the back straightaway. Just watch these trucks and how much draft really plays a factor on being able to drop to that back bumper. Is now you got a whole nother group, another trio starting to pick up right out of nowhere, as you'll be able to see a lot of draft pickup here coming down the back straightaway. We got 7 trucks in line, so this little group of 7 here going to look to try to work together and make up some time that they may have lost on that green flag pit stop.
Yeah, the Tundra back there still a lap down. He's going to have to fight to get that back unless we get a caution and get that lucky dog going. We get that wave around as we go back up front. Nick Leo, currently your race leader in the 69. Brendan Turner goes to second runner-up spot, 37. And Chris Lewis in the 111 is currently your top 4 drivers here from Daytona International Speedway for the TI Truck Series as they work their way off into turns 1 and 2. Laps went away very fast in this one, but we're a quarter of the way home already. Lap 15 of 60. And that, I'll tell you what, that number 69 dual truck is looking really good out front. But we'll have to see if he's able to hold on to it. It looks like he may have I was going to say, maybe a teammate. The colors look the same, but the 37 machine of Brendan Turner now. So right up against his back bumper, trying to help him out. And you'll see the 33 machine, the Red Bull 33 on the high side of the racetrack. Will give way to the race leaders.
Lap traffic going to subside for your leading group here, as you see that 37 you were talking about, trying to push that Jewel-sponsored number 69 Chevy Silverado even further away from this backpack. But the more I watch Piles, I'm keeping an eye on that 3rd place truck, that AC Delco machine. He has been pretty consistent with being able to keep that draft to a minimum within a truck length or so. So I'm honestly thinking that the back 2 trucks may be a little bit faster with draft, as they're just peeking their head right now, trying to keep them engines cool and not overheat. And you see one truck making the move to the outside. It looks like the back 2 trucks possibly going to make a switch. And no, they're going to keep it single file here. So your top 4 contenders still running away, but it is still all that 69 up front, and the 37, that Valvoline sponsored number, the Valvoline sponsored number 37, looking pretty content with running second right now, just looking to tick off some extra laps.
Making laps out here, leading laps. I'm not 100% sure of the point structure, but maybe some extra bonus points for leading laps here. That is common for the oval and asphalt season. So I'll have to ask Chris Lewis about that here later and see if they do have an actual bonus point system for leading the lap, or if you get 1 point for every lap led, or how they do it here with the shortened down race lengths to be able to get these races in under time. As the 69 machine of Nick Leo is still going to continue to lead here. The second right now is still Brendan Turner, 3rd Chris Lewis in the 111, and Chris Lewis faster in that 3rd spot than both of your leaders and Isaac Morris in the 4th spot. So, like you were saying about the last time by Stephen Bruman, the 3 machine with the 49.324, and the 6th spot, the 74, Joe Roberts, 256 last time by. We're going to have our first caution on the speedway, and it's going to happen going on the back stretch into turns 3 and 4. Our first Miller's Bar and Grill yellow flag here tonight with the TI Racing Truck Series. We'll get that replay drawn up for you in just a minute.
As it looks like this yellow is going to involve, looks like a couple of trucks just getting out of shape. One's going to get up into the wall. Trying to get a number on that truck at the back of the pack that got up into the wall there coming down the back straightaway.
It's like the 80 machine.
Looks like it's going to be Justin Miller that's going to get caught up in this. It looks like it's going to be the 80 machine. You see him just go up to the right side. Just that car just hooked to right. Not sure if maybe something had gotten bent off some contact earlier on a couple of laps ago or something. But that machine just took a hard right into the wall, and the 80 machine getting collected up into that mess. So that's going to bring down our first caution flag, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see some pit stops here under this yellow flag break, Ron.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's right around that window. I think it's just a tad bit early, but I'm not sure because there might be some takers that'll come down and do it now. There may even be a point where some of these guys might decide to wait it out until after they get back to green flag. But it all comes into strategy. I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up. I don't know what I would do, Brett.
I tell you, Ron, just from the racing that I've done here at Daytona, it doesn't really play a factor on tires. So I'd be looking at that fuel gauge, seeing just how much I got left. Trying to calculate if it's worth coming down now and topping her off, or trying to figure out a whole bunch of math, how many laps it takes for a full tank and whatnot. Be pretty interesting to see who does and doesn't come out here, though.
It looks like we're going to get a mess of trucks down pit road as the Jules 69 truck looks like he's going to dive to the pit area. Looks like he's going to bring everybody but a couple of trucks with him. I'm going to imagine that the trucks that aren't coming are trying to get their lap back. And that's probably going to be Kyle Dumig's 51 machine that stayed out on the racetrack, and that is who it is. Everybody else is filed down the pit lane, Brett.
Yeah, everybody coming down pit road now looking to get some tires possibly, and definitely fuel. Let's take a look here as you got the right side going up on that the 37, and you're also looking at the right side going up on the 63.
Yeah.
I don't believe the 69 took any tires yet, so could that possibly come back to hurt him in the long run? I did point out that tires do not wear that much here at Daytona, so you can get away with a couple of not taking tires and oscillating lefts and rights, but I believe this is 2 pit stops in a row that the 69 has not taken tires. So with a couple of guys having some fresh rubber on the outside, that could be setting up for disaster for that Juul-sponsored Silverado.
That it could be, as now I'm looking to see if the 33 machine of Morris, he's going to come down now. I have the 51 of Kyle Dumig marked on here, but he's the 33 machine, and he is coming down pit road. We'll see how he decides to take this pit stop here as he comes into a stop in his box here, and I believe he's going to take a fuel and go stop here, as it looks like that's what he is going to do. Truck not moving, maybe a little damage fix. He might have bumped the wall or scraped the wall or gotten a little bit of contact, so looks like it's taking a minute to get that tank full of fuel, and he is down and away. He'll be leaving pit road here, and looks like he may stay 1 lap down, so he was trying to get that lap back, but not going to happen due to the fact that he probably needed to come in for fuel, or he was not going to be able to continue in today's event.
So as everybody cycles through from caution flag pit stops, it's going to be interesting to see, just how stacked up this field is, as I do believe we are going to have a new race leader. No, we are not. The 69 still going to hold on to the race lead without taking tires. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see if that 00 on the outside took tires or not, as we definitely know a couple of people did. I think we're going to be setting up for a pretty interesting couple of laps here, Ron, once we go back to green flag this time by.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see the aggression pick up throughout this race. We're 40 laps left in this race, and as far as we keep getting closer and closer to the end with 20 trucks on the track now, currently still in this race. Starting with 41, we're down to 20. I think it would be interesting to see with the 50 of Gary Godso Daytona International Speedway here is. Whatever happened to that machine that hooked him into the wall ended his day here with the TI Racing Truck Series. Because the light's down on the iRacing.com official pace truck here, it means we'll be going green flag this time by the starter stand.
And I'm getting word that the 00 did not take tires that last time through the pits, so it's going to be pretty wild on this restart here, considering we've got a couple of cars back about 3-4 rows, the 37 inside row 3. Going to be interesting to see how good of a restart he gets here. But as we work through this corner, you are going to have the iRacing.com pace truck get ready, and he's going to make that hard left-hand turn down pit road. That's going to put the lead in the hands of the 69. They're going to bring it down into the tri-oval. The green flag is going to be out, and we are started back here at Daytona. Green flag out. We are racing back into turn number 1 and 2. The 00 going to get a really good jump on that outside lane. He's got a couple of trucks pushing him. It looks like the 74 is going to start bobbling as we're going to be almost 3 wide for third, coming into turn 1 and 2. I'm not sure who that is working the outside of the Speedway, but everybody going to single file back out coming down the straightaway as the 63 starting to wobble around the back of that outside lane. Keep an eye on him. He was the guy that was trying to make it all the way up on the top side, possibly got into the marbles a little bit and got himself a little bit loose. But the top 6 trucks break away from the rest of the field here, and that 69 going to come back down on the inside run here with that inside lane. But so far that 00 able to hang tight on that outside. He's going to lead the lap here at Daytona.
These guys putting on a fantastic show up front, and like you said, they're coming 3 wide from the start. The restart of this race. Getting real there. He had a good run going, but we're gonna have a truck get pushed way up the racetrack, and he's diving for air out there. It looks like Isaac Morris to sneak his way around there on the bottom side, as this field is really tight right now, and the draft is working its wonders. We're 3 wide again with the 63 to the outside. He's gonna pull back in line here after getting some air to clean that truck up. I thought he was going to make a run to the outside, but he's going to make a dive to the bottom, so maybe a little confusion to shake and bake with the 74. He's like, yeah, I was going to help you out, but it kind of slowed down, so he was going where the line's moving, and now the 37 is going to throw him out to dry. Here's the 37 jumps out in front of the 63 to see if he can make a shot at the leader here for Stephen Vrooman.
And we come back by to complete another lap here at Daytona. It's still going to be that 00 up front of this field. I do believe that is a power plant in that 00, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm seeing that hood icon correctly, as we're going to be double filed down the back straightaway as your leader staying committed to that bottom lane. He's not trying to come up and block the momentum, but as you look right now, one of the drivers that took tires over the course of that caution flag pit stop, that 37, he's going to rocket around the outside lane, and he's going to drop down in front of the 00, and he's going to put that Valvoline sponsored number 37 up to the point, as he's going to come back by and lead this lap at Daytona.
Yeah, it's Brendan Turner now, your new race leader. International Speedway for the TI Racing Truck Series. Stephen Vrooman calls for the second spot here. There's laps winding down here, so we have 35 laps to go this time. Still working their way out of turns 1 and 2. Vrooman still looking strong. In the second spot, he's going to have some company now to the outside. The 69 machine of Leo, I believe, is out there. And the Jewel machine. And the 111 of Chris Lewis. Chris Lewis having a great run here this afternoon, I should say, as far as the in-game time goes. Chris Lewis having to fight forward from a not so hot qualifying run, making his way up through the field here. We'll pop this up here. Chris Lewis started in 5th position, so this goes to show you with a little bit of pit stops and strategy and a little shake and bake in the back of the field here, you can make your way up front here at the Daytona International Speedway in a hurry. One of the very few tracks here in the iRacing sim and in real life where you can be so far back in the pack and then get a great run and a great drafting partner and make your way forward in little to no time at all. But in the same manner, you can also find yourself going in the opposite direction just as fast.
Absolutely, as though we're going to get a little bit of contact here. It looks like I can't see the number. I believe that was the 37 get to the inside of the 74, and some slight contact was going to be made, as that's going to hand the lead back to the 69 machine as we come back by start. We're going to have another lead change here at Daytona. And as you pointed out, that AC Delco sponsored number 111 hanging tough on that inside lane. He's going to inherit the 4th place position. It looks like that outside lane run starting to fall back a little bit here. So could we start to see the bottom coming into factor a little bit more with how many trucks we have down on the bottom working that draft?
It's very possible here. I was going to take a look and see a couple more other drivers up front to see where they may have started in this field. Another couple of them are back there. Nick Leo, your current race leader, started in the 11th spot. So time and progression in this race has allowed some of these drivers to move their way forward here. Brendan Turner started 3rd, currently running 2nd, and he's been all the way back to the 11th place in this race. So kind of gives you an idea of how shaken up this field is. Is this 3 wide? 1 and 2.
It looks like somebody had to back out of there. He's going to go up to about the middle of the track there. I believe that was the 14 machine that you see there coming down just on the outside of the 63. So keep your eye as these trucks, as we get closer to this the end of this race, you know, just how many crazy things these drivers are willing to do to be able to get a good run and be able to hang in that draft and get to the front of this pack. As you see a whole cluster of cars behind this lead trio starting to be able to pull away from the rest of the pack here, and you know that's exactly what they want to see. As I guarantee, I'm pretty sure we're going to have another another pit stop for that matter before we see the end of this race come to a conclusion. But my eyes right now are on that 111, the 14, and the 12 machine, as these guys are getting pretty worse for wear when it comes to being patient and holding on to some spots, as these guys have been chopping it up left and right over the past couple of laps and trading positions.
Yeah, watching these guys duck, dodge, dip, and dodge around the racetrack here, trying to keep some air in these engines, keep these engines cool and keep them from overheating here as the field working their way. We got the 51 machine returning to the Speedway here. I believe he may have taken a pit stop as he's out there all by himself. He may have had to serve a penalty, I'm not sure. The 51 of Kyle Dubik back there, he may have suffered some damage and maybe running a damaged truck here. We have a battle for second and third here. It's like the field may be making some here at the front. It's like Nick Leo out there by himself. Not exactly sure what happened. He got a quarter of a second lead over the guys that are running that draft pack right now. So he's going to have company right now. It's like this is a number one. It was a 191 truck. Makes a run. There's just the 12 truck dive below the apron there. The 94, 69 pushing the 94 down into the corner. So a little bit of aggression coming out here as Nick Leo and Landon having a little disagreement on space. As we got, looks like they're going to make a pit stop here, but it's going to be a drastic run to pit road here. I could say I've seen some aggressive pit entries before, but the whole field coming at once like that, it's getting crazy down here on pit road.
Oh, Katie, bar the door. These guys are throwing caution to the wind, as we had probably about, I'd say 13 to 15 trucks there trying to come all onto pit road at the same time, as the 69 going to make it to his stall first. And I tell you what, Ron, he had to go bonsai on that outside just to even make it down to pit road. And you see who's going to be the first one off of pit road. It looks like everybody just going fuel only, as I do believe we're going to have the back of the pack, the cars that came around the last cycle of laps for pit strategies come around here. So this is going to create a little bit more chaos. You got about 10 to 15 cars coming off of pit road, and then you'll have a group of about 3 to 5 come whipping around this Daytona International Speedway. As you see them here now coming through turns 1 and 2, that 37 and 00. They're going to have to bob and weave and try to MacGyver through all this traffic and not get collected as these guys try to merge back onto the racing surface. Yeah, it's going to go the exact opposite here. Once the guys coming on the racing surface get back up to speed, the guys that we're watching now is the front of the next pack of cars coming to pit road. And they opted to stay out a lap, so halfway home in tonight's TI Racing Truck Series at the Daytona International Speedway. Not sure exactly when the 00 is going to come to pit road. I'm thinking it's going to be this time, but he may have enough to stay out one more time. But he's staying awful low here as they work their way down to the front straightaway into the tri-oval. And they're going to stay out one more time, and I'm keeping an eye on the map here to see who may be coming to pit road. It looks like the 00 machine electing to stay out another lap, and it looks like they are going to stay out another lap as well. So all those drivers coming to pit road. We got a mixture of field right now of who's going to be, or who's on the lead lap. Is right now the first car on, actually let's say there's about 19 drivers still on the lead lap here. Should be changing here if these guys don't come to pit road very soon. I'm being told the 00 and the 37 actually were a part of that first group that came down pit road. So these two have already made their pit stop, fuel only for these two drivers. So it looks like these two are going to try to push to the end on what they've got here on as we come around in front of a whole bunch of lap traffic. You're going to see that lead gap shrink as these two are going to try to pick and choose their spots wisely as we come back around the tri-oval. And we're following our caution here to the 51 machine in the middle of the back straightaway. So the Miller's Bar and Grill caution flag out once again shortly after around the pit stop. It's 51, let's go to 33. It shows 51 on my scoring. But
unfortunately for some odd reason, it looks like he just came to a stop and brought the caution out.
As he's going to come off of turn number 2, and you're going to see him dip down to the inside lane, and he gets up underneath that yellow line, and I don't see him hit the wall or anything. He's just going to come to a dead stop down the back straightaway.
I want to guess maybe I was going to say maybe he ran off field, but he came to a dead stop and then rolled out. So I don't know if he was trying to stay out of the way of the leaders or what happened there, but he gassed her and up the racetrack he went and got her corrected and righted and on his merry way here. So we'll see if anybody decides to take advantage of maybe a 1/10 of a gallon of fuel maybe.
Do we see anybody coming down for possible tire stop here as we see everybody dipping down to the inside? Everybody that we just saw come down for fuel, it looks like everybody's going to come down here. So it looks like everybody got their fuel. They might be topping it off and getting some tires to see if they can last to the end.
Yeah, looking to see who all is coming in right now, and I believe almost the whole field came in. The only ones that stayed out are the 63 and the 51. So the 63 of Isaac Morris is going to inherit the race lead, as he is out on the speedway now, and we're going to take a look-see here and see. Don't believe anybody's taking tires. All these stops looking too quick for tires. Everybody rolling off of pit road. The 94 machine still sitting on pit road. That's Landon Durhold. And Chris Lewis was still sitting on pit road, I believe, as he's now leaving his pit box. So maybe 2 tires for him. But everything looks pretty solid on the 94 machine, and he is the only truck left on pit road. So, unfortunately for him, a long stop.
And, you know, Ron, I hate to make accusations here, but that caution flag that we just could not explain why he came to a stop down at the back straightaway, according to my scoring, it shows him currently 2 laps down. So do you think he possibly slowed down, hoping to get a caution between somebody and trying to get a lap back here?
Considering the way that the getting a lap back works in the iRacing Simulator, I would say that he isn't getting a lap back, and he probably knew that. So I wouldn't say that that would be the way that he planned it. So I don't know, maybe something happened that he needed to stop for a second. Something, you know, unfortunately he's being at home, he might have got bothered and had to stop to turn around and say something or discipline one of the kids.
Yeah, that is true. Anything is possible here in the sim world. You know, you can see a driver have their wheel come off of their desk. Anything like that. As it looks right now, is we're going to have another truck or two coming down pit road. Possibly looks like the 63 machine going to come down pit road. Not sure what's causing the late pit decisions for that team. Possibly some strategy coming into effect with the little bit of laps we do have remaining, as we are about 25 laps from conclusion here at Daytona. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what this pit strategy may be here from that 63 machine.
Not exactly for sure, but there may have been a penalty or something issued that he had to come serve. He might have got busted for speeding on pit road. However, I do believe you have to serve those under green, but maybe maybe a top off on fuel and then start from the back and then being able to run just a little bit longer. Maybe he's working a strategy for the ending of this race.
And look who we have towards the front of this field, Ron. That number 80 machine, you saw him get involved in one of the previous cautions earlier tonight. And he's going to pull up outside that 69 Joule-sponsored Silverado, who has just been absolutely lights out dominant here tonight. It's going to be pretty interesting to see if Miller is able to get something going here on the top side with that number 80 machine.
Yeah, Miller in the runner-up spot for this restart. We'll see what he can do there. It's Nick Leo, Justin Miller, Jason McCoon, Brendan Turner, and Steven Vrooman, your top 5. 6th is Isaac Morris. 7th is Brendan Alphin. 8th is Jeremy McKinnon. 9th is Dan Maria. And running out your top 10 is Jeffrey Spells at the current time here as we get ready to get back to green flag as the iRacing.com official pace truck returns to the pit road. And we'll be going back to green here on the 69 of Nick Leo at the starter stand as we are back to green flag racing here at the Daytona International Speedway with 24 laps to go. their way down the tri-oval here into turns 1 and 2. Everybody staying door to door here. The Jules 69 machine of Nick Leo going to get somewhat of a jump here, but that's going to go away as they come off of turn 2. The 80 machine of Justin Miller going to get a push from the 37 machine of Brendan Turner. Turner going to give that great push here down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4, and it should be the 80 machine of Miller at the top of the track here. Going to take the lead as they go off into turns 3 and 4. And the 69 Joel machine sliding back here. It's a natural slide here. It's not a lack of top speed or horsepower. Is the 80 machine going to leave the 37 hanging? Miller to the bottom in front of the 69. That's going to check them up a little bit. And the 21 or 12 machine, excuse me, is going to have to check the brakes a little bit there. This 21 of Jason McCoon. So backwards on one. I'm not sure. But looking at the 29, a little bit there to get into the back of the Nick Leo machine. Around here as we now have 24 laps to go, Brett.
And you see everything starting to get hot at the front of this field. Drivers not wanting to be patient. They've had about 55 laps of planning as we get closer and closer here. Got about 24 laps to go. The 80 car and the 37 going to be side by side coming through turns 3 and 4, as it looks like everybody's going to have to stack up a little bit as the back couple of trucks got a little bit of a momentum push. But I do believe the 37 is going to get pushed by that 00 on the outside lane to inherit the lead coming through the tri-oval, as it looks like they were dead at the line. Not sure who they're going to give the scoring to that time by, but the 80 machine in that Ford F-150 is holding tough on that inside lane, as he's got a bunch of help behind him. But don't look now as that 37 and 00, that tag team that's been working together all race long, back together on that outside lane, trying to hang tough and make things happen.
Yeah, that lap that you sure have scored to Brendan Turner as they cross the stripe scoring. So Brendan Turner, so the 37, you know, these guys with the 80 machine of Miller giving a dive after getting help from the 37 there on that couple laps ago. Makes you think if he's trying to get some revenge or avenge his complete jump off the top side of the racetrack before this one's over. Is it right now with 22 laps to go for your race leader Justin Miller, who's on the bottom of the Speedway in the 80 machine into his outside. Brendan Turner in the 37 continues to pull. A lot of help behind him, as well as Justin Miller having a lot more help behind him on the bottom side. This race closing in here on the end. I was going to say, we're going to go with the, let's look on board with, let's take a look with Nick Leo on the 69 machine, how hard that he's pushing the 80 of Justin Miller.
Come through 3 and 4. You're going to go on board, as we're going to take a look to the outside of your leaders. That's outside of the 80. He's going to get the run, score this lap to him with 20 to go. We are going to have a new race leader, as he's going to hold up on the middle. Is McLeo going to hold up in the middle, but you see Miller shot out of a cannon out of nowhere with that inside line momentum. Now the 21 also going to take a look to the inside. That's McCone. McCone trying to get dead even as he come down, but you see McLeo holding on to that side bite, and he is going to rocket back to the lead down the back straightaway. So things starting to get hot and heavy towards the front here again, Ron. Katie, you better bar the door, because things are not over here at Daytona.
The 80 machine of Miller is back to the bottom again with all the drafting help that he has. A side draft playing a big role right now in this event. They're still going at it here for the race lead. And loving this. They're not really thinking too much of it right now, but they are down the straightaway side by side, duking it out throughout the field. All these drivers battling for position. His timing and scoring system is going to go nuts at the line when it comes to the close of this one if they continue to battle the way they are right now. However, I do hate to say it, but we are going to have an interruption of pit stops coming up here probably very soon. I'd say in the next 4 or 5 laps is the 51 machine to pit road, and it's like the 3 of Ryan Whitaker may have called it a night or a day here at the Daytona International Speedway in the 3 machine. I'm not sure yet. His name is not lit up. He may have disappeared.
It looks like McLeod going to throw it down in front of Miller on that inside lane. That's going to give the lead to the outside. Momentum starting to build up on that outside lane as Nick Leo trying to hold it down on the inside. There's going to be some slight contact and a little bit of tire smoke from the front of the field coming through 1 and 2 this time. Drivers starting to pick and choose which lane they want to be in as they swap back and forth from the inside to the outside lane. As that inside now starting to get a really good push with Miller and Leo and that 69-80 tandem as they start to pull away from that 63 and the rest of the pack. So as we get closer and closer to this finish, it looks like these guys are holding on to something here, possibly hanging onto their cars just before this fuel run. As anybody coming down pit road, we're not going to have any takers this time by. The whole field going to stay back by.
51 of Kyle Dimick returning to the racetrack from pit road now, so we'll see how this plays out. Last time he came off the pit road and was out on the Speedway, brought out the caution just right after. Kept everybody really close together than what a lot of them were hoping for or anticipated. So I think they're kind of waiting to play the see if they're going to get one before they really have to come down pit road for fuel. So we'll see if anybody takes an opportunity to come try to take another caution. It seems like every time that we come for fuel, except for I think once in this race that we've had a caution come out just simultaneously right after stops. And I believe we have one truck ducked down. I believe that's the 00 machine. It's going to be Steven Vrooman making his way down. A couple trucks with him, and that looks to be maybe the 13 machine, and I'm trying to pick out the very last one. I can't quite do it. So 26 of Dan Marrera, your first 3 trucks to pit road here. We'll see if this pays off and gets them up front for a race win. After these stops, it's probably going to be a fuel and go here, and it looks like at least Vrooman going to take fuel, and he's down and away in the 26 machine. Also going to take fuel, and he's going to disappear as well. So that's Marrera and Jeffrey Spells. He should be rolling now as well, and I believe he's only going to take fuel. As you'll see, yep, the cameras are moving. He is coming off of pit road, so their stop is done. I believe pit road's about to get real busy with the 69 of Nick Leo, probably about to take a duck here with Jason McCoon as well as the field. The rest of the field, the second wave of trucks to pit road, and a little bit of, I thought we was have some contact there between the 37 machine, but it didn't.
I think Miller may have gotten busted with a speeding penalty.
Uh-oh, that's not good. Your race leader may have not got woed up enough coming into the pit road. Hit that barriers. He also, on top of that, big mistake for the 80 truck. Missed his pit box. Had to back up to get his stop. That's going to slow him down just a little bit. We'll see if we'll have to pay attention here and see if he does come back down pit road to serve a penalty.
Oh, we got spinning on the end of pit road. Contact going everywhere. We got cars everywhere off of the pit exit.
This is going to shake things up even more as now, after stops, we have the caution flag, the Miller's Bar and Grill caution flag number 3 of the evening here, if I'm not mistaken. Just to make sure I'm not losing count.
Looks like people just tried to get going a little bit too fast, and without taking any tires here at Daytona, you get them tires lit up a little bit too early, especially on a cooled down part of the track where the pit road is at, pit exit that is. As you go back and you see, just as they come off of pit road, you're going to see a couple of trucks get loose. It's going to be a 37 that gets loose, and he's going to get sent right around up in front of the other trucks, and multiple guys getting together. The 48 and the 12 also having some issues there. So things going to become a little bit more clusterfied here as we come off of pit road with a little bit of chaos. I don't know, Ron. I'm not sure if that's going to help a lot of people. It may have caused a bit of damage here for a lot of people as far as aerodynamics go.
Yeah, maybe quite a few headaches there with some of these drivers having such fantastic races up until now. And coming off a pit road, a little bit of damage is going to affect some aero, and I do not believe that they're fast repairs after seeing a couple drivers drop out of this event. I wouldn't be surprised to see if this damage is going to cause some headache and heartache for some of these drivers that may have had a chance at this race now, having to worry about getting some damage fixed on the pit road here during caution. Luckily for them, it'll be done under caution flag, but unfortunately at the same time, you can only fix so much in so little time. As you see the airplanes coming down over there from Daytona International Airport, as we're out here once again with the TI Racing Truck Series. These drivers putting together a great race thus far, side-by-side battle, drafting, everything you can think of here is, I'll take a look down here. I'm going to see if the 80 machine, Justin Miller, looks like he's down here. Give me 1 second, Brett. I'm going to try something real quick.
Up all
Justin, you
fuel.
got a copy, brother? There's Raging John Piles up here in the booth. Justin, did you get a penalty when you came down last time?
No, I did not. I just barely slowed it down enough.
Alright, just checking in. How's you guys' race going down here?
Pretty good, honestly, so far. I was still good up at the front, but we're going to try fuel strategy maybe, I don't know.
Gotcha. Hopefully, you guys can come out on top here. Is getting down to the nitty gritty here with this race coming on about 14 laps to go. Should be, I believe, 13, maybe 13 when you guys are back to green. But we'll come down here and see how things are going. I know there was a lot of chatters you guys might have accrued a penalty, so I wanted to check in on that and make sure everything was still kosher down there. So hopefully we'll be able to talk to you guys here in a little bit. So the Black Cat Racing crew down there, no penalties as far as we're aware of. And he said he just barely got loaded up in time as looks like Brighton Hutchings going to take over the race lead. See if he can hang on to it for the rest of the laps in this one with a very strong field of trucks coming behind him. So that number 84 John Deere Ford F-150 out front right now under caution.
And hey, Ron, if things haven't gotten crazy enough for you here throughout the course of this 47 laps, the way that my math is looking right now, we possibly might see one more pit stop if these things go green the rest of the way out here.
It's very possible, and I'm kind of curious to see who's going to push their trucks, who's going to be going somewhat at a moderate pace. It looks like a couple of trucks coming down pit road, monitoring it. It looks like everybody might come back down for fuel right now, except for maybe 2 or 3 drivers. I was starting to wonder about that because even a 4th gear cruise right now is not going to save you enough fuel to make 14 laps with these guys coming in every like 10 or 11 laps. So Brighton Hutchings bringing us back to pit road here. He's got to be on the money on his spot here in order to bring that truck back off here under the caution. See if he can get this thing off the pit road and hold on to the race lead. Is the 84 machine. He's not going to be able to hold the race lead because we had some drivers stay out. Trying to get some numbers here. Looks like the 69 machine Nick Leo going to retake the lead here. I believe the 63 Isaac Morris, and Brighton Hutchings looks like he's going to come back out 3rd, so maybe not such a bad shot here. Actually he's back further in the field. So once our scoring updates, he's going to take a good hit in track position after coming in for fuel. Very interesting Daytona International Speedway race for the TI Racing Truck Series. As laps are winding down, I believe we'll go back to green flag with 12 laps to go, Brett.
As we get ready to go green flag racing here, the rest of the field getting caught back up. Just waiting for my camera to go back online so I can see the rest of this action go back to fruition here.
Interesting. Oh, gotcha. Didn't realize that it killed that, so we'll get that fixed real quick. There you go. The field getting back lined up here with 12 laps to go as the iRacing.com official pace truck here is going to take its dive back to pit road. It looks like we're going to have the trucks that are a lap down on the outside of the speedway here, and everybody else will be single file underneath as we get ready to go back to green flag. Green flag's back out. Nick Leo going to lead us down across the stripe. It's time to see who's going to play hero or zero, because like we've calculated, if it is right, they will not have enough fuel to make it to the end. So we're going to see who's going to save fuel and who's going to push the issue here in the last 12 laps.
You said it, Ron. 12 laps to go here. 10 laps is the math for me at a green flag run. So I do believe we are going to see a green flag stop here, but I'm not going to throw away the option of people stopping for fuel only if things do go caution. But as of right now, it's Nick Leo up front in that Jewel-sponsored number 69 Chevy Silverado. He's got that 21 machine right behind him. I do believe that's McCoon, and Miller also right behind him in that 80 machine. As you see that back little group of that front pack here trying to catch back up to these top two and possibly have a say as some draft racing goes here. As these guys are starting to break out a little bit, they're pulling away from the draft. And that's just absolutely impressive to see done as the 21 not going to wait any longer for Nick to get going. He's going to rocket to that outside, and he's going to go to the lead. Oh, the 14 going to come down and just barely touch the side door of the 69. Now we got some drivers starting to throw some blocks as things are going to heat up here at the front of the straightaway. And we do have a wreck in the back straightaway pending right now, just waiting for the caution flag to be thrown. And we are...
Looks like the 9 machine, the 9 of Ryan Perkins, as we, Our Motorsports caution number 5, I believe. I'm going to pull this caution information a lot of green flag racing here throughout the Daytona International Speedway race, but we're going to get to your Ryan Perkins here on the back straightaway going into turns 3 and 4. Machine. So we're coming down the backstretch, a little bit of chuck and jive here down the back. There, the 80 machine, gonna hook him just ever so slightly. He got his nose under him. Wasn't really trying to. I think he tucked under him, and one of those situations where we talked about earlier, Brett, where you have to lift if you're drafting with somebody, or you run over him. If you step out just a little bit, it'll give you that much momentum to pull right along the inside of him, and something like this will happen. Fortunately for the 9 machine of Perkins, he didn't touch any of the walls, so maybe a little fresh set of rubber, get that grass and that the muck stuff out from the infield there, and he'll be good to go.
On the rest of the field coming down the pit lane right now, Ron. So it looks like everybody going to come in and stop up on fuel. Going to be interesting to see if anybody's taking right side tires or left side tires to try to get a little bit of extra grip for the last couple of laps here. As you know, it looks like everybody's coming down. I don't think there's going to be anybody left out on the racetrack, as I'm not seeing anybody go up with tires so far. It looks like everybody's going to go fuel only. So with about 8-9 laps to go, it's going to get pretty interesting to see, you know, whose tires are falling off and who's been able to save a little bit of fuel here towards the end, if they went full fuel or if they just possibly put a couple of gallons in there to see if they could make it to the end.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was looking here, even the skill level might come into play here throughout the end of this, because we have licenses ranging from A to D class oval licensing, and I believe the highest I rating in the split or in the server right now is around a 3,500, almost 3,600, and that's Jason McCoon. So we'll have to see if Jason McCoon can put his experience to work here at the TI Racing Truck Series and pick up a win here from, it looks like, maybe the 4th spot. Like Landon Derhold currently has the racing lead. Here, the lead here under caution, and we'll have to see if his lack of experience cost him the lead here in the closing laps of this one, as he is a D-class driver with a 14, almost 1,500 high rating.
And as I'm seeing right now in the scoring charts, Ron, it looks like the 80 machine of Justin Miller going to receive the end of the line penalty. So that 80 machine going to go to the back of the longest line for that incident there coming down the back straightaway.
Big break up front for the 94 Landon Derhold, having the 80 machine of Justin Miller very, very fast up front here. Have to restart from the tail, but he has a lot of time to get there. There's 8 laps to go here, and you see it looks like 5th place driver right now, Brighton Hutchings, cruising around on the apron trying to save some of that fuel in that tank. But these things are like the real life vehicles, the real life trucks on the track. They're like the old, if they're like the cup cars. If you pull down on the apron, you're supplying more fuel to that right here. That you're going to allow them to dump more fuel down into the cylinders. because that's going to empty that gas tank that much faster, having that weight on that side of the tank.
As the field's starting to restack and repack here, double file, the lights on the iRacing.com pace truck going to be off as we enter turn number 3. So we're going to come back to green flag racing with your current race leader, the number 94. I believe that's Landon Durhold. So a couple of guys here in the front of the pack that we haven't really talked about all day, Ron. It's going to be pretty interesting to see if a couple of these guys can pull off the upset here. As you see the 00 and the 37 in the back, the only person that's really up towards the front of the pack that's been there all day is that 69 of Nick Leo. So as the iRacing.com Chevy Silverado going to make that hard left turn into the pits, we are going to go back to green flag racing here at Daytona.
Chuck and jive is going to happen. I'm looking through a team roster here, and the closest one Barley as the field goes back to green here. Those drivers coming from Sutter Esports here, so we'll see if that is going to play a factor here. They're going to go 3 wide for the runner-up spot. Nope, they're going to tuck it back in and keep everything under control. Here's the 21 machine trying to float up to the 14. This is the Sutter Esports team now trying to put a move here on the front of the field, as we're going to have a bunch of trucks getting a good run here for up to the 3rd spot. The 84 machine of Brighton Hutchings has to back out of the throttle a little bit to keep them over the 69 of Nick Leo. So you get the 94 and the 69 working together now, and that is an unpaired. 94 is Landon Durhold and the TI Racing crew, and it looked like the 64, I believe, was underneath of them, 69. So those guys play a role here. This is our 6 laps to go. Will be 5 to go next time by here at the Daytona International Speedway.
Just a handful of laps remaining here in Florida, as you got side-by-side action here through the first 3 rows of this field, bumper to bumper. The 14 going to go to the outside. He's going to get a little bit loose. He's going to have to chase it up the track. Now here comes the 94 and the 69 of Leo back on the bottom. That 21 of McCoon trying to hold on tough through the outside lane. He's just not getting the push that he needs from that 14 machine. Now here comes the 94 of Landon coming up a little bit. Try to check up that outside lane. It's going to cause a little bit of a stack up. They're nearly 3 wide for second as the 14 tried to peek his nose to the outside. As we come back by to complete this lap, we're only going to have about 5 to go this time, as you pointed out, Ron. And things are starting to get hot and heavy here towards the front of Daytona. And yet to see the big one. Could we see the big one here within the last 5 laps as drivers are starting to get hot and heavy?
Yeah, everybody trying to make their dives and maneuvers here, trying to figure out what they got to do to get to the front. Right, I'm waiting for that 3rd line to break on the outside. Must have 3 wide truck racing here as the 14's looking to the outside right now of the 94 Landon Durhold. And also looking at the 21. So you got teammates working together now. Jason McCoon and Eric Barrow working together. That's the Sutter Esports crew, but looking to see who may be out front here. Is the 94 going to push down? They're going to be 3 wide. The 69 is going to stick his nose in there. He's going to turn the 21. The 94 leaders going to go the way. We've got trucks upside down. The field is the big one has happened here at Daytona. It's still happening down the front straightaway. A lot of trucks involved with 4 laps to go, and I'm starting to wonder if somebody decided that they were going to get really antsy about trying to move forward and get aggressive due to the simple fact that they weren't sure if they were going to make it on fuel, Brett.
And honestly, Ron, it looked like the 94 just got a little bit caught up with too much on his plate, as it looks like he was trying to hold on to a hornet's nest behind him, and he was trying to do too many things at once, and it looked like he got caught up and got a little bit turned there. As it looks like the 94 was just trying to hang on, but the 69 sticks his nose down to the inside. I'm pretty sure we were 4 wide there at one point during that chaos there for the lead, as I believe it was the 14 that got into the back of the 21 and sent him around here as we look at this replay.
Yeah, a lot of trucks involved in this. It's almost a full field crash. The 80 machine of Miller sneaking by, going to gain a lot of spots here. We'll have to see who comes down pit road, as a couple of these drivers, I believe, I don't know exactly if they have any faster pairs or not, but if they do not, I'm going to assume that a lot of drivers' nights have ended here with just about 3 laps to go.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, though. One driver that is rubbing that lucky rabbit's foot that he just found in his fire suit pocket is that number 84 I believe that's the number 84 of Brighton Hutchins. That John Deere sponsored truck gonna inherit the lead out of that melee there. So one man's misfortune is another man's treasure, as he drove right through that entire bit of chaos. It came out untouched as it all unfolded right there in front of him.
Yeah, I would say if he happens to end up pulling this off and winning this race with 3 laps to go, 2 to go, I believe, at the line, that man needs to jump off the computer and go downtown and buy a lottery ticket for this week, because that was, and hope that he didn't use up all his luck getting through that wreck, because that was huge, and he's very lucky to be able to have a great spotter to get him through an incident like that.
Now the question's going to be, with only a couple of laps left, who's going to be able to salvage their truck back together and be able to come back and make an effort through this, as I believe the only truck that wasn't touched out of that whole entire melee is your current race leader, and Hutchins, as a couple of cars going to stay out here. Everybody else going to pull it down to pit road. And I don't know if we're going to see many of those cars come back from that, Ron, as I see a lot of trucks still sitting down on pit road.
Yeah, a lot of damage is done there for sure. We'll have to see how that plays out for these drivers. There's unfortunately a lot of damage taken throughout the course of this last caution, so I'm trying to see who may be on pit road yet, as we still have a couple trucks that are having some engine issues. I believe Eric Farrell having some engine trouble. I'm not 100% sure. I was watching him go around the track and he was throwing a puff of smoke, and it may be just an iRacing glitch from a repair, but the 84 truck all the way down on the apron right now, trying to conserve fuel and trying to make it these last 2 laps under green flag. So watching these laps wind down, I'm wondering if it's going to be a green-white checkered, or if we're going to have a green-white return to green and then checkered, or how this is going to work.
An interesting note for you here, Ron. I took a little trip down to our onboard camera with our leader here of Brayton Hutchins, and not only is he rolling down on the inside of the corners trying to conserve fuel, but he is also shutting that truck off under caution and letting that roll around this Daytona Motor Speedway. So that machine doing everything in its power to be able to conserve enough fuel to go this remaining 5 miles.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to be able to hang on to it here. Looks like this time by, we'll see if the laps take off, but right now the scoring saying 3 laps to go here. We'll see who's able to save enough fuel. It could even come down to, he may cause a wreck and somebody that's in 6th or 7th right now may come up with the win in this race.
Yeah, if you thought things were crazy at this point, just wait. This last handful of laps, I'm telling you, these last 7.5 miles of this race is going to be crazy. For the little bit of drivers that we do have left, I mean, a lot of drivers were able to make the comeback from that damage just to be able to play a little bit of attrition here and, you know, salvage what they can get out of it. But I'll tell you what, this is going to be a chaotic filled last 3 laps.
That it will be, as they're lining back up here to restart this race. Bretton Hutchins is going to have a lot of weight on his shoulders here when we come back around to the start-finish line. Looking at the 37 machine of Brendan Turner on the outside as well. He's going to have company looking here to see who may be trying to hook up here when this green flag comes back out, when we get ready to go back to green, because Hutchins in the 84 machine is part of the PTP racing crew. And Brendan Turner's 37 machine is part of the Outlaw Motorsports crew. So 2 different crews there, inside and out. And the 191 machine of Brandon Alphin there. You see his name on this roster. It may be down a little further on another team. I'm sure that is it. So, not sure if he's running by himself. So he may have to be picked up. Part of the Black Cat Racing crew. So things are getting interesting here as the lights are down. The iRacing.com official pace truck. We're diving its way down to, and it is away here. And we are going back to green flag with a handful of laps left. We'll have 2 to go at the stripe. So starter will show the drivers 2 laps to go here as they cross the line. While here in the shootout. A quick dash to the end here at the Daytona International Speedway with the TI Racing Truck Series.
Green flag back out, 7.5 miles left to run. Everything going to be thrown out the window here. And as we roll through 1 and 2, it's going to be Hutchins still going to be able to hold on to the lead, but that 37 coming hot and heavy on the outside. He's got a good push by that 80 of James Miller as they screen down the back straightaway, starting to build up some momentum here. The 37 going to be able to inherit the race lead for a quick moment in time in the entry of turn 3. But don't look now, as now we got the leader in the inside lane starting to come back to life. Oh, some more contact, and I believe this is going to take care of the rest of the field, Ron.
Yeah, the 84 and the 37, big contact there. The 80 around the Miller once again. It's like the 33 having contact, so the 9 machine getting a piece of that. And looks like the 48 just going to drive through and be like, yep, that's nice, guys. I'm going to take these spots, and I've got fuel to run with. So, and you see a little bit of maybe not knowing that these drivers are moving. Some of these trucks bringing their way to pit road here with some damage as well. So I'm not exactly sure. Take a look here. I'm kind of interested to see what the faster pairs are now, because it seems like there's a lot of aggressive driving going on right now, and for drivers trying to make their way to the end of this. So I'm gonna take a quick gander here. It'll show me what I want to see, and it looks like they have a limit of 2 faster pairs in their series. So that is going to be why these drivers have been a little more on edge about what's going on around. Just some of these drivers in here, maybe a couple of them's nights ended here. There's maybe a couple faster pairs too many.
The 26 right now going to be your current race leader. That is Dan Morera. Counting the blessings, as it looks like he's going to have a teammate right behind him, as it looks like these two starting to come down to pit road, possibly going to top off on fuel here for this last little bit or get some damage fixed themselves. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how things are going to unfold, as we just had back-to-back big ones here at Daytona with a green one checkered remaining. So still another 7.5 miles left to run here. Back up front in this race, as he has managed to get through both of those incidences without merely a scratch on that car from the last time he got a faster pair. So Nick Leo hoping to take some lady luck into victory lane here tonight with him at Daytona.
The 69 machine able to come through these incidents unscathed. However, I would say, unfortunately for him, he's got the 14 machine to restart his outside of Eric Barrow. And according to what I see here, the 14. We also have the 13 machine of Jeffrey Spells going to be in that mix as well, and the 26 of Dan Morera. Not losing too many spots there. Waiting for scoring to update, obviously. No, that's not exactly where I said 14. So the maybe a sitting duck out there in the middle of the field with Sutter Esports 14 of Eric Barrel and the 21 of Jason Coon, teammates. They'll be able to work together here. We're on the 69. However, this damage on these trucks may cause that not to happen here in the closing laps of this one. So we'll have to keep an eye on that battle and see how it plays out here, as they're going to be one negotiating next time by. It looks like there's about 4 or 5 trucks sitting on pit road right now as far as getting fuel, getting damage fixed. And I can't say that I blame them after an incident like the one that we just witnessed here on the Hardy Sports TV network at the dirt track, or not dirt track, but Daytona International Speedway.
21 drivers took the green flag here tonight for this race at Daytona. 15 drivers left on the lead lap, as we only have 7.5 miles left. We're going to get the green this time by, then we will get the white, and then the checkered. I believe they have 3 attempts at this before the race is considered official. So if we don't get it this time, we do, I believe, have 1 more attempt in the books for this green-white checkered. But with the past 2 wrecks that we saw around, I don't know if these guys can really afford to have another stack-up like that, considering faster pairs that have been used and everything. Figure, they just used both of them within the last 2 big stack-ups. So the last couple of laps here are going to be pretty interesting.
It sure will. Here's Phil working their way down the back straightaway here. A couple drivers trying to catch up with 63, working his way off of pit road. The 48 trying to catch up as well. The drivers trying to gather anything they can off of that last incident now, as I believe, looking at the scoring here, Justin Miller's night may have come to a close here as he's now a lap down, and it shows, I don't believe he's on the speedway right now, Brett. Alrighty, everybody get up on your feet because it is about time to go back to green flag here. 3 to go. Not a single fan here sitting down as we get ready to come to a close of this one. Exciting race. Back to the line. Here's the 69 machine, and Leo gets a great jump on the restart. And Brett, as we can see it already, it looks like the damage is playing a role here in the closing of this one here. We're going to be 3 wide in the turns 1 and 2. Looks like a lot of guys going to single file it out here and try and get that run here. They know they've got damage. They got one damaged truck there, and currently in the runner-up spot, he's being pushed by the of Steven Vrooman. Vrooman trying to make a run. We've got contact again. Another caution about to come out. Looks like the 33 machine. There's going to be Kyle Dumig going around there in the middle of the back straightaway. It's going to be caution number 6 or 7 on the speedway. We'll get that brought up to you there as I just quite caught it going around there. So, unfortunately, yet once again, another caution coming out here at the Daytona International Speedway. Alrighty, so that was a slight issue with the TeamSpeak for whatever reason, so we'll pull this together here from the Hardy Sports TV Discord booth as we pick up the last incident on the speedway. It looks like the 33 machine going around there. Get that rod up here for you guys. You see him off the corner. A little bit of bobble there, and he's going to get up into the outside wall and collect about 3 or 4 other trucks there. And it's going to cause a little bit of headache for a few more drivers there as he's able to get that machine under control. But once again, caution flag falls here at the Daytona International Speedway.
As I pointed out before, we did have that technical difficulty. We do have another green-white checkered in store, so this race is not official yet. But if we are not able to come back around on this next restart and get the white flag, the next caution will end the race. So these drivers can either end this under green or it will end at the next caution. 3 attempts at the green-white checkered is what the series is allowing for these drivers here. And this is going to be attempt number 3 at 3. So the next flag is going to end the race, whether it be a checkered or a caution.
Do we have a pit reporter, Brett?
I didn't catch what you said there, Ron. My headset cut out on me there.
I was just curious if we had a pit reporter of what's going on pit road right now.
Well, we got a lot of tore up trucks down here on pit road. A lot of good drivers out of this one early.
See our pit reporter Eric Tupper down there stepping in here. Didn't quite see the message. He was paying much attention to what was going on, and then we could have used him earlier, but that's my fault, so I apologize for that. Tupper out there cruising around pit road, checking out all the damage of the vehicles that are down on pit road, and quite a few drivers that are between 2 and 5 laps down, and one that's 43 laps down. Unfortunately, got some issues earlier, not able to compete in this one, and looks like Justin Miller not able to continue. And I was looking to see if the 51 was going to have any faster pairs left, as he's brought up quite a few cautions tonight, but he's been able to dodge the damage wagon, I guess, and some of his cautions that we've seen flagged for that. So fortunately for him, he's still able to compete here, as Eric Barrow is your current race leader in the 14 machine, and the 69 of Nick Leo, your current runner-up here. So a couple drivers from 2 different if we're going to be double file or if we're going to single file on this restart.
The way that these guys are pacing around here under yellow flag, I definitely think we are going to go to a double file restart here for this final green-white checkered. Usually guys will be nose to tail if we're going to see that, but lights should go out on the pace truck this time coming through the tri-oval. As I look right now, the lights are going to go out, so we are going to go back to green flag racing, this time by off of turn number 4, as the field going to start to restack and repack, get them all double filed up. And the thing that's going to be interesting to watch here, Ron, is if you look at row number 3, that's a pair of teammates sitting in row number 3. You can tell by the matching paint skins. If I were them, do you think one maybe hangs back a little bit on the start, gets in front of the other one, and try to tag team this up to the front? Or, do you just pretty much take the gloves off and, what will be, and, go for your own?
Take the gloves off. These guys' gloves have been off for about the last 15 laps, so maybe a little step behind there, Brett. These guys definitely going to get it out to the end. It'll be interesting to see what these guys do decide to do, because the hardest part about this whole situation now is you said that they were in row 3 together, which means they are in 5th and 6th positions, and they will be double file, so they're going to have to figure out how to get in line to try to make a run at the lead if they really want to do it here in the closing laps.
I tell you what, one driver not to count out is that 00 on the inside of row number 2. He has got one fast truck here tonight, as he has been up front for most of the evening. I wouldn't be too surprised with this being a go or go home moment if he doesn't try to stick his nose down to the inside here, or maybe even to the middle, and try to go for a 3-wide move for the lead here.
I wouldn't be surprised either, but one of the things that I see in this situation is we are back to green flag here, is the iRacing.com official pace truck going to dive in. Watch the 14 truck. He has a little bit of damage to the rear end of that truck. It looks like it's up against the rear wing and the spoiler, and it may be just enough to slow him down here. As the 00 not wasting any time all up over the back bumper here. If the 14 had missed a shift, it would have caused a lot of chaos here. There's a big gap between the top 3 right now and your current 4th place truck, Ryan Perkins.
And Nick Leo needs to get to the bottom, or he's going to be a sit and duck. The 14 going to come up, almost touch that left rear and send him spinning. As the 14 looks like he's got his hand full with that machine. There's going to be some more contact coming out of turn number 2. These guys are getting ready to set fire to the wind as we come down the back straightaway. Sparks are flying as we are 3 wide now for what looks to be the 4th position. As now the 9 truck coming out of nowhere with a head full of steam to the back bumper of Lowe. Lowe going to come down in front of the 14. He's going to get touched. People stacking up as we're going to have them all over. It's going to be a race back to the line, I do believe, if caution doesn't come out.
Caution's out. Caution is out. This race is going to get turned. More contact. Is the field frozen, or will this play into the finishing results of this race? What is going to happen? What will the admins decide to do? Because there's after caution contact. This has been labeled the final lap. So once the field comes back around, we'll roll the race results. We have drivers coming down pit road right now. From what I'm looking at here on the scoring, it's the 94 bringing his truck to pit road. Landon Durrell now being laps down. These drivers back here are duking it out. Some of them, I was wondering, some of the contact we saw was kind of curious if some of them were even battling for position being laps down like that.
You definitely know there's going to be a lot of upset drivers here, especially with not being able to complete this under green flag conditions, as I do believe the win is going to go to that 69 machine, that Juul-sponsored Chevy Silverado of Nick Lowe.
Well, according to Chris Lewis, the field was frozen at the caution, so whoever had the lead at the caution when the caution came out has won this race.
So Nick Leo going to pick up the win here as they cross the line coming up. Jeffrey Spell is going to be 2nd. 3rd will go to Steven Vrooman. 4th will be Dan Marrera. Running out your top 5 will be Kyle Dooming. That'll be your top 5 here for your TI Racing Truck Series race at Daytona International Speedway. 6th will be Brighton Hutchings. 7th will be Jaden Porter. 8th, Jason McCoon. 9th is Eric Barley. And 10th is Ryan Perkins. If you wouldn't mind taking us in there, Brett. Right up on screen so everybody can see it as well.
Position number 11, I'll jump in here, Ron. Position number 11, we got Jeremy McKinnon. Position number 12, we got Isaac Morse. Chris Lewis comes home 13th. Landon Durhold in 14th. John Roberts in 15th. Ryan Whitaker's 15th. Brandon Elfin, 16th. Justin Miller, 17th. Brendan Turner, 18th. Patrick Thompson, 19th.
Because they're
Gary
jumping out of line.
Gutso in 20th.
Yeah, they're jumping out of line, bringing those trucks around, some of them are extra laps. Race leader, or race winner here today, Nick Leo, picking up the race win, but in a commercial break here, and then we'll be back with your top 3 interviews here from the BladeNode.com post-race show. Here's some feedback from our clients. The work with BladeNode was done in a very professional manner. Specifically, the owner and CEO, Mr. Vlad Stafford. We talked a lot and he listened. I personally recommend BladeNode Web for your IT and web design needs. Another inquiry states, Vladimir is one of the best web designers I know. Over the years, he has helped me set up over 24 websites, of which over a dozen are still active. He is a good listener and always provides professional services above and beyond, which is expected. Another inquiry says, we at Boombox Ninjas needed a very reliable and trustworthy web hosting partner. With TinkerHost, now called BladeNode, and the ever so helpful Vlad, our business has never seen a day of downtime. It's been more than 4 years with TinkerHost, and the business has only grown. Thanks, TinkerHost. So what are you waiting for? Get with BladeNode.com today for all of your web hosting, VPS hosting, and email hosting needs.
Big Daytona race for the first time. I mean,
All right, I'm
Anyway,
down here right
thanks.
now with our third place finisher here. As Jeffrey Spells picking up the third place run tonight, brother. Tell us about your run there in this crazy race. How were you able to keep your truck clean enough to come up with that third place finish here for a podium?
Oh man, I'm telling you, that was nerve-wracking. I'd already decided on that last green-white checker to just send it, and I think inside line had a truck down on power, so wasn't sure what to do. Basically, truck in front of me got into that truck and just opened a path, and I just stayed in the gas. That's all I knew to do.
In other words, a Jesus moment for you there is the waters were parted and you were able to just kind of watch everything go away as you cruise to the middle to a podium third place finish here tonight.
Yeah, I kind of thought I actually ended up in second, but hey, I'll take a third place. I did what I wanted to do. I didn't qualify as good as I wanted, that I knew I could, but dropped back, rode around the back a little bit, and fuel strategy, man, was killer.
Yeah, definitely a wild one on fuel strategy. Everything seemed like it was so crazy between cautions coming out right after pit stops or right when pit stops needed to happen, and unfortunately quite a few drivers caught up in some of that happening, but you able to come up with a third place finish. So not exactly, like you said, your qualifying run not exactly what you wanted. Can be a little touchy on some qualifying runs, but not really too important here with the Daytona International Speedway with the amount of drafting that you guys did. You could start anywhere and be at the front at the end of the race. So I want to congratulate you on your third place finish, and I'll let you thank whoever it is that makes it possible for you to be competitive here with the TI Racing Truck Series.
Well, I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. It was a blast. I mean, couldn't ask for actually a better race for the most part.
Yeah, you guys had a lot of green flag laps, despite how usually the Daytona International Speedway races usually go in the officials and some of the other leagues in the sim, but not really putting the drivers on anything. It's just the way that the track races, and you guys get up there and draft, and if you're hanging with them, some people are not quite as coherent or aware of their surroundings, and cause some mayhem, or even maybe it's just some difficulty with the sim itself. So definitely an interesting race to see every time we get to come to Daytona or Talladega, sometimes even Darlington. But yeah, congratulations once again on third place finish, and hopefully we'll see you back up here on the booth next week.
All right, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
I'm looking to see who else may be in the Discord here we can grab, but it looks like that may wrap it up. Not even a chance to talk to the winner this evening, so it'll be a little weird not doing that. But as far as wrapping things up here from the Hari Sports TV network, I want to thank our sponsors here once again. I want to thank Brett Rolls for hanging out in the booth with me tonight, as well as our infield pit reporter Eric Tupper here. He'll slowly work his way up into the broadcasting role as he gets a little more comfortable with everything here as far as the broadcasting goes. But the TI Racing Truck Series at Daytona complete tonight with Nick Leo picking up the race win, Steven Vrooman in second, and Jeffrey Spells in third. So I want to thank the TI Racing Series for having us aboard here this evening. I also want to thank Har Motorsports, the crew putting the Hari Sports TV crew together. BladeNerd.com, simple web solutions powered by nerds. If you guys need any web hosting done, make sure you go to BladeNerd.com, and Vladimir Safford will get you hooked up there with the BladeNerd.com web solutions. Also want to thank Jeff Scott and the gang at the Ford Entertainment Group for putting together the PC that I'm using to bring you guys this wonderful broadcast. And once again, also want to thank everybody alongside me tonight here, once again, for helping us out with the race at Daytona International Speedway. And we will see you guys tomorrow night here for the HAR 358 series from the Volusia Speedway Park. So just a couple hour trip across the state of Florida, and we'll be back here live tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That is going to wrap it up for us here. For myself, Raging Ron Piles, Eric Tupper, and Brett Rolls here in the Hari Sports TV booth. We'll see you tomorrow night.